Welcome to the Big Three, football style for Fantasy Alarm TV. I'm your host, Ray Flowers. We're talking running backs today, and we're starting out with the number 66, as in the percentage of games played the last 2 seasons for Arian Foster. And that's the rub with Foster. It's not the talent, it's how long can he stay on the field. Arian Foster is a big-time health risk, but he still is someone that has to be drafted as an RB1. Why is that? If you take the pace that he had last season and give him 16 games played, we'd be talking about a running back with over 1,500 yards on the ground, 10 rushing touchdowns. We'd be talking about another 6 touchdowns as a pass catcher with 47 receptions, 4.8 yards a carry as well. Yeah, that's the problem with Foster. On a per-game basis, there are not many better in the game of football. In a PPR setup, he is absolutely dynamite. There are risks. So if you take Foster as your RB1, it makes a lot of sense to get a rock-solid RB2 and continue to build depth at that position to cover what seems like an inevitable injury to Foster. But when on the field, he is still an absolute beast in the fantasy game. The second number of the day is 2. As in the rankings from week 10 to 16 last season, in a PPR setup for C.J. Anderson at the running back position. From week 10 to 16 last year, the only running back in football who's better in a PPR setup was Le'Veon Bell. So why all the concern with C.J. Anderson? I get it a little bit because the last couple of seasons the Broncos have seemingly switched running backs on a monthly basis. They certainly have done it on a year-to-year basis. But the fact is, over the second half of the season, C.J. Anderson was dynamic. 96 yards rushing per game the last 8 games of the season. He scored 10 total touchdowns, 8 as a runner and 2 as a receiver, and he also chipped in, 30 pass catches. So we're talking about a guy who was on a half-season pace for 1,500 rushing yards, 60 receptions, 20 touchdowns. Yeah, pretty good for C.J. Anderson. You can draft him as an RB1 and feel pretty good about that heading into 2015. And then the final number today is 8. That's the number of carries under the mark of 400 that DeMarco Murray had last season. The 392 carries being obviously a career best for DeMarco Murray, and it's actually a total that is larger than the previous 2 seasons combined. Murray also had 13 touchdowns last season. Previous 2 seasons combined, scored 13 times. Now, there's only been 5 seasons in the history of the NFL where guys had 400 carries. Only 5 times that happened. Again, Murray just missed out on that. But given his track record of ill health going all the way back to college, that's a huge number and something that does concern me moving forward. Also concerned that he goes from the situation with the Cowboys and one of the best offensive lines in football to the Eagles, who are really beat up on the offensive line last year. The Eagles have, done some good things themselves in the backfield, as in bringing in Ryan Matthews for depth. But DeMarco Murray is going to be drafted as an RB1. His performance last season warranted. However, he's with a new team that's not as strong. He's got that injury-filled track record. And as I noted, the numbers went up so high last year, it doesn't make any sense to expect a repeat in 2015. I'm Ray Flowers. Big Three, Fantasy Alarm TV. Don't forget to visit us at fantasyalarm.com/winning. Our 2015 draft guide is available for football. fantasyalarm.com/winning. It's a great product. You should check it out.